Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is gonna be different for you coming from me. I picked up Sunday, today that I'm recording this is Wednesday. I've had it for a few days and been playing with it. A Brinyte headlamp. And it came in this box. It was in here. It had protection on there for different stuff. And see if I can get it out. There we go. In case you're thinking it doesn't have a cord, it does. It's tucked away in here. So if you guys pull it out, and the paperwork's underneath here usually too, I went ahead and pulled that out. But I wanted to leave the cord in here so you could see that they tucked the cord away just like that. So if you pull this out and you look and say, what, there's no charging cord? There is. It just happens to be tucked away in there. But then again, it is the normal little C charge cord. So you should be able to have 50 million of them probably laying around the house at any given time. But there's that. Like I said, it comes in this nice little case, and it is the HC01 Noctua. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. And I actually picked this up off of Amazon. They had it with a percentage off. I think it was 10% off. It's normally around 50 some dollars. But I wanted to try it and see what it's like. It does come with an extended warranty card if you go in and register it, which I still have to do. So you might want to do that if you do buy one, just in case something happens. It comes with a relatively, and of course you know me, I don't read instructions until it gets to that point where I absolutely positively have to. You can change the battery in this, so it's not one of those you charge it and charge it and charge it, and then when they die, you're SOL. You can replace the batteries. Oops, I knew I was going to do that. My fingers were hitting the buttons on top, but you figure that's how you can pop it open, replace the batteries, and I think they were AAA's. If I want to be honest, does it say? Yes, how to install AAA batteries. So if you don't do rechargeable batteries after these finally die, you can put in regular AAA's. I honestly buy a lot of rechargeable batteries. I just use them and use them and use them and use them and use them until they no longer work. But instead of buying batteries all the time. But this is adjustable, number one, so you can have it tilt down, different angles, tilt up, whatever it is you need. There is kind of a flood that goes medium and bright, or low and bright would probably be, let's see if I can get you've got, hopefully, oops, in case anybody gets triggered, so sorry. Try not to trigger you guys. You got a solid red flashlight, and the red does it in low and high. So you got those two. Now you can also do with either combination of those lights. It's kind of a spot / floodlight is what I consider that. And you got low, medium, bright, and like a turbo bright. So there's 4 settings for that. But you can use that. Let me turn it off so I can flip it up. See, that was the one I just did. The red light is this one, and that was kind of like a small floodlight that you can just use that. Of course, using this will probably drain the batteries a lot faster than if you use these other two. But if you ride a bicycle, you figure you can sit there and have the bright light or one of the brighter settings along with the red flashing on, so people will catch people's attention. Heck, you can turn it around behind on the back of your light and just put it on the red with the flashing light so you have it handy. You don't necessarily have to put it on your helmet. You can maybe put it on your arm because it tightens up to where it's literally against the other thing. So if you wanted to put your arm in there and do it, you can. It's there's multiple uses for this. I've been using it to play with it and stuff when I'm out there in the living room doing my paracord. So instead of it being, it's not necessarily dark in my living room, but I don't always want to turn on a bigger light to work on that stuff. But as I'm working on it, I do need more light than my computer screen or the other little light that I normally have on in the living room will give me, so I can actually see real good what I'm doing. But that works good because I'll sit there and I'll put it on the smaller light that just does a little bit, and I can tilt it down to where it's on what I'm doing. Happy, very happy with that. This does fit quite tight, but you can pull it out and you can see it expands pretty good. So I'm confident that it should fit on a lot of different helmets and our construction helmet type deal. I'm not 100% positive, but it does go pretty well. And between that and the stretchability of it, I'm thinking it should. And of course, just to tighten it up, all you have to do is just twist it back around. The only one nitpick that I think would take this from being awesome to super awesome is hopefully you can see what I'm going to talk about here. That's why I was playing with it. You see, this portion is curved, which would be great, but it has this hard plastic piece. This does not flex, and it's flat. My forehead's curved. I don't know about your guys' foreheads, but I'm assuming pretty much most of us have a curved forehead. If they could either have something that flexed on this to where it would conform a little bit more to our head, kind of like this piece would, I think that would just make this just the perfect item to have for this. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with this so far. I don't know how well the stretchy material will hold up long term. I'm assuming, I have to check, I don't know, and you know what happens when you assume, that you could buy maybe replaceable cord to do this. I'm assuming you can pop this out. I don't want to do it because I don't feel like having to put it back together again. But that there should be a way to replace this if it's needed. Just a thought. If this isn't really easily replaced, maybe that's another thing that they could possibly change and do if they do an update on it. Make this to where it's curvable and this is replaceable. Maybe offer a bigger stretchy band that you can put on in place of it if you need it for if you work in the mines. I know there's still people that have to work in the mines and do stuff and wear hard helmets. If you're working in a building, you've got a hard helmet on. You know, if you're getting, most of the time those places don't have electricity. You might have your battery operated floodlights, but you may get in a corner where you can't see real well. This extra light would come in super handy for that case. My brain's always trying to think of different scenarios of stuff that could, need it for or have it. I'm just thinking that might be a thought along with making a flexible piece. I mean, they could basically keep the same idea, just makes that flexible so that way you can put it on your head where it's a little bit more comfortable. Let's put it that way, where it'll conform to your forehead a little bit better. But, I mean, you ride a bicycle with the red flashing light. That would be awesome. You don't have to put it on your head or on your helmet. You can put it on an arm. You can put it, as it gets real snug, you can put it on where under the seat where you can lift your seat up and down, that piece. My brain is shot. That could work real well for that. And you can put it on the flashing light, and it could be behind you, on your front. You could put it on your handlebar and have it going that way. You don't necessarily have to have it on your person. There's multiple ways that you can set this up, and then angle it if you want it to go more straight out or more down or even more up for whatever reason. I do really like the adjustability of that. Like I said, maybe with a couple tweaks, the flexi, to make that flex to your forehead or your arm if you want to put it on your arm. maybe easily swap out that piece, make it adjust where you can buy bigger ones for people that need ones that are a little bit bigger. I think that would be an awesome thought to do. But anyway, all in all, I think this is a win in my book. It will come in handy. Like I said, I've already been using it, and if I go outside with my pupper dog, I always have a regular flashlight. That I have a couple flashlights that are super spotlight flashlights that I use all the time. But if I'm just out walking around the yard to see where I'm walking, this would be great. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. You guys have a wonderful day. Oh, and I'll link down below the Amazon link to this item, so that way you can check it out yourself. I don't get anything from Amazon. I'm not one of their affiliates. I haven't even looked into trying to do something like that. But I thought maybe for something different, I would do this, and you guys let me know if it's something I should never do again, or if I pick up oddball things like this that might work in the EDC community, do more of it. Just a thought. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.